Welcome back. Segment number 2. I'm Jennifer Fierro, your Broad Podcaster here in the Highland Lakes with Art Dlugach, the voice of the Llano Yellow Jackets. In this segment, we're going to talk Highland Lakes girls basketball. For those of you who want the boys and what's happening with them, please go to segment 1. Now, we are going to start with the Faith Academy girls quickly because they went 0-5 at the Arion County tournament. They are in their district play already. They will be traveling with the Faith boys on Friday to Temple Holy Trinity, one of the longtime rivals for the Lady Flames back when Jerry English was the head coach about a decade ago. So all the best to Coach Cap Canada and the Lady Flames. Look forward to hearing what happens with them. We're going to end with the Lady Jackets because I do want to make mention quickly, and then I want to spend more time on District 24 4A. It is Burnet Marble Falls week, and that's because the Lady Dogs will be playing in Max Copeland Gym to start district play against the Lady Mustangs. Now, these two teams, Marble Falls is 11-10. They only won one game at the Mansfield tournament last week, Art. Give me just one moment. Let me find it. Their one win, though, was a big one against Fort Worth Dunbar. Fort Worth Dunbar ended the Lady Mustang season during the 06-07 year, the state tournament year. Marble Falls beat Dunbar last week 46-29 at Mansfield. They ended the tournament losing to Wiley East 38-25. They also lost to McKinney 54-35 and Cedar Hill 41-22. They are 11-10 on the year. Meanwhile, the Lady Dogs went to the Leander Glen tournament, and I believe they only lost one time. Went 3-1 there, lost in the championship game to Glen 53-26. They beat Vandergrift 52-42, Pflugerville Weiss 45-24, and Leander High 46-22. So they are 14-5 overall. Marble Falls is 11-10 overall, but you have a difference in philosophy when it comes to scheduling. And we will get to that in a minute. I am going to let you talk about the Lady Jackets, and then we'll talk more about Marble Falls and Burnet.
Well, the Lady Jackets have had a rough start under head coach Jay Parker in his first year, doing as fine a job as he can do with the ladies. But you mentioned much earlier, you can't coach height. They lack that. That is a big problem. Right now, the unofficial record 4-14 for the season, led by Gwen Burnet, who has had injury problems, and Avery Brooks, the same thing. They should be back, though. The Jackets will open district play at Florence on Friday night, January 6th. Now, this is a very winnable district. That was sort of the bad news about Llano, but there's some good news. Florence is 0-12, Ingram 2-11, Comfort is winless, Brady 2-14, and Blanco, the favorite to win the district, is 13-11. So Llano could squeeze in there. Top 4 teams make the district, and certainly the Jackets are hoping they can squeeze in. Other names to mention: Laura Lee Downey, Lily Copeland, Kiera Batiste, a fine rebounder, and Sierra Hayes. Those are your primary starters for the Llano Lady Jackets. Yeah. So I think it could be a more interesting regular season than the non-district games have shown.
Sure. We'll see what Jay Parker dials up. Coming from Shallow Water High School, which is a powerhouse in the Panhandle 3A, he knows his basketball. We'll see what his schemes look like and who he has available, and then see what the Lady Jackets can do. Let's go back and talk about Marble Falls and Burnet for a few minutes, and then we'll close this out. I honestly believe the District 24 4A Championship will be in Burnet County. I just can't decide if it'll be in North or South Burnet County. And here's why. Marble Falls has 7 seniors. It is the most experienced roster, I think, in the district. At the same time, though, there are no surprises between these two teams. The Lady Mustangs are very familiar with the personnel in Burnet. Burnet is very familiar with what Marble Falls has, and I'll be curious to see, will Mason Gay be up against Taya Rodriguez and try to shut her down, and she is the one who averages double-digit points for the Lady Mustangs. Will Taya be the defensive specialist on Mason Gay, because it's all about touches for Mason? The scoring is not quite as important, but the offense will go through Mason Gay. Now, the dark horse to look for. Look at the post play and what Zaria Solis can do against Lexi Edwards, especially on the low block. That will be a key part on this, because whoever can rebound and limit the other team to 1 shot per possession will win the game. Marble Falls has been better at shooting the 3-point shot than Burnet. Burnet, though, has been better at pushing the pace. Now, Marble Falls has played 21 games. Burnet has played, 19 games? But Marble Falls is playing Tuesday night. Burnet took a bye. And that's what I mean by a difference in scheduling and philosophy. Marble Falls just came back from a long road trip to Mansfield, and then they're right back in the gym at Brownwood on Tuesday night before coming home to host the District 24 4A opener. Burnet, meanwhile, went less than an hour up the street to play at the Leander Glen tournament. And they came back and slept in their own beds every night last week. So I'm curious to see how this one plays out.
Boy, when those two teams, Burnet and Marble, great rivals, of course, play twice, those will be some exciting games, and those gymnasiums will be very loud.
Yeah, and especially when they do the rematch in the second round to start the second round. That will be at the Doghouse, and that will be a doubleheader with the boys. So it will be a very loud, and like you said, a very loud, crowded gym at the Doghouse here in about 2 to 3 weeks. The dark horse to look for, you'll laugh at this, Lampasas. 18-9 the last time I checked.
That's nothing to laugh at.
They have who might be the best overall player in the district, a move-in, who in one game scored more than 30 points. Even Taya Rodriguez has not done that because she hasn't had to. She has had the help from Alyssa Berkman and from Lily and from the two Emmas and from Lexi. So we will see how things play out. And then that 4th spot, Lago Vista, Gerald, I have no idea who will get that 4th spot, but I will tell you this. Because I think this district, I know Georgetown Gateway's in the boys district. Gateway does not have a girls basketball team, so there may only be 5 teams in this district. That means that one team that was in the playoffs a year ago will miss the playoffs this year. So you better bring your A game every night.
Boy, that Berkman is a familiar name on the campus of Marble Falls for sure.
For sure. She has come through in the clutch. I think she's the defensive specialist on the team. One of Alyssa's biggest contributions that I don't think she gets enough credit for, her ability to draw charges. And that's a double whammy, because not only do you take a possession away from the other team, you also get a foul on whoever is shooting the ball.
A little bit of basketball I played, the only sport I played, even though it was, as I say, little, I hated to take those charges.
Oh, you bet. You bet. So that, for me, is what I'll be curious to see. Faith Academy, the Lady Flames made the playoffs last year. We'll see if they can do that again this year. I do think the Lady Jackets, if everyone is available, they have enough to make the playoffs. But the key is Avery Brooks and Gwen Burnet for one big reason. And the big reason is this. They are the two primary ball handlers for the Lady Jackets.
And don't look aside and skip Kira Batiste, the fine rebounder that I mentioned, does an excellent job, and she will be counted on a lot to get those boards.
Yeah, it will be a fun district campaign to cover. I do think in the 4 girls teams that are in our coverage area here in the Highland Lakes region, all 4 of them I'll be shocked if not all 4 of them make the playoffs. I think there's enough in each one that'll make the playoffs. Marble Falls and Burnet. Marble Falls was the favorite to win the district. They obviously have had some injury issues. The loss of Avi Nail cannot overstate how big that is, Art, because Avi was the best finisher in the transition for the Lady Mustangs. She caused a lot of steals and deflections to happen, and then she was fast enough to get down the court and finish transition buckets for the Lady Mustangs. They are still trying to find that. If there is an advantage that I think Burnet has right now, offensively they're better. They are better than Marble Falls today. Let's see what happens this week. Okay, that's all I got.
All right, I think that pretty well covers the high school. Looking forward to a fun couple of months of district play, and we hope the best for the teams that we cover, and I think there'll be a lot of best shown this winter.
Yeah, you better bring your A game, folks. If you're going to attend, make sure you bring your A game to cheer your teams on, because they're going to need all the help they can get in this district run. For Art Dlugach, I'm Jennifer Fierro, your Broad Podcaster. Please go to TexasChalkTalk.com for all of your Highland Lakes sports news, and please remember to like, subscribe, and share the channel.